Are you ready to learn? Because my super experienced guests are ready to share some really valuable information. Make sure and listen all the way to the end to get help and support. So let's start with the best audio experience.
Hello guys, welcome to our show. Today we discuss about growing in recession. It's a very important topic. I know how it's hard to do it, but it's possible. That's why I decided to discuss this topic with Tristan Wright. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, big pleasure. I remember our previous episode, so valuable. That's why I decided to invite you one more time to get more value, to bring this value to my audience, to learn myself. Tristan, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, about Australia, and any other things that can create this smile that you have right now.
I'll try and do the condensed version. So I run a company called Evolve to Grow, play in the business coaching consulting space. But my backstory, I studied, I worked as an engineer in my early 20s, and I didn't really love that. And I came across an opportunity when I was going out on a bike ride with friends to organise some cycling clothing for them. And I went and organised that cycling clothing, and it was an absolute disaster because the shorts were see-through. But I saw a gap in the market off the back of that and thought, hey, there's a need for good quality custom sportswear in Australia at a quality price with quality service. So in my spare time, working from my kitchen table in the evening, I set up a custom sportswear business, and I built that into a seven-figure business. I had highs and lows. I was doing it in my spare time, and I eventually went full-time on it, built it up, and at a period of time, the Aussie dollar tanked and my wife left me at a very similar time. So my mental health and the business took a big plunge. I was 200 odd grand in debt. Eventually I got over myself and rebuilt that business, rebuilt it back into a profitable business that didn't need me. And then I ended up selling the business off. And that was all by the time I was about 30. So from
Nice.
there, I took a bit of time off and eventually worked out that, hey, I want to help other business owners. So that's why I set up Evolve to Grow, and that's where I am today. So very condensed version, and we can dig into it more. But yeah,
That's great. That's great. Love your story. And I wanna ask the first question about this transition between working for someone else or in place where you don't like to spend time to your own business. In possible recession, it's hard and very risky, but 70% of people are unhappy with their jobs. Most of them dream about having own business. Can you tell about this transition? How to make this first step? How to make the step that can bring happiness in your life?
yeah, it's a tough one, and so many people are too afraid to take that step. And it's got a lot to do with the fact that growing up as kids, we were conditioned that we had to work for someone else, and the way to be successful, the way to be safe, the way to make money, the way to provide your family is to have a job and to have others give you the money and have that consistent income. So as a child, we've been taught that's what we have to do. So we have to unteach ourselves those habits and realize that, hey, it is actually possible to provide for ourselves whilst running our own business, and we're not doing anything wrong by that. So it comes down to, what are we truly passionate about? What do we really enjoy doing the most? And how can we use that passion and that enjoyment to benefit others? So and like, to start with, it's a really scary step, transitioning, because we haven't fed ourselves, so to speak, financially previously. So it might be tough for the first 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. But if you're truly passionate about what you do and you understand the value that you provide to others, it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I couldn't agree more with that because I know how it's important to have this passion. I remember when I created a new project because of chasing money. I failed. I wasted resources for 3 years, a lot of resources, time. But at that time, I hated Monday. I love Friday. And after 3 years, I got it. No way. I quit. I never touch this product again. I give up. That's why I usually, tell anyone it's not. We have this quote: "Never give up." But you can give up if you hate it, if you if you suffer, to do something. For me, it's not bad thing to change your mind to go ahead with something else that bring happiness. And today, I think more about happiness than about earning money. If you're happy, if you enjoy the process, that money will come in the end. And Tristan,
Correct.
I have the question about focusing. I see when people try to cover a lot more than having resources. For example, I have many things to do, but I know when you have two hands, only 16 hours a day, because we need 8 hours to sleep. Can you tell how to choose priorities, how to find something that will bring results and ignore the rest, or delegate the rest? So any tips about that?
Yeah, less is more. And if we try and do 20 things in a day, we're going to do them poorly. But if we do 5 things, we're going to do them much better, and we're actually going to progress a lot faster. So it all comes down to what is the ultimate objective? What is the end goal? What are we wanting to achieve? And what are the things that are going to help us achieve them in the fastest way possible, or the simplest way possible? So we double down on those things rather than have that scattergun approach and hope that 20 things will achieve it. Do 1 or 2 things that we know will have impact and move us towards that ultimate objective. It's when we don't have that ultimate objective, or we don't have clarity on that we try and do too many things.
Nice. I have the question about personal life and business work, because for example, I can work at night, on Sunday, on Saturday. For me, it doesn't matter, because for me, my job is hobby. I love it. So I can ignore watching TV because I can keep working in my job, in my business, because I love this experience. But in the end, I have family. I have wife, 2 kids. I need to handle them. I need to spend time with them. And I see when people complain to find the balance between family and business. So any tips how to explain to someone, to your relatives, that you need to go your business to go ahead, but in the end, don't forget about them and spend time with them, travel with them, I don't know, enjoy time together. Any tips how to find this balance?
I guess at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, if you've chosen to have a family, your business is a tool for life. If you haven't chosen to have a family and you're single, most of the time you've chosen to live the business life. But if you've got a family, the business is there to provide for your family, provide for you and your family. Yes, you have to enjoy it, but there comes a time that we're being selfish and we're spending too much time in the business and forgetting about our family. Where we're going back into our former self and thinking, I can do this. I'm just going to double down and focus on this because we're chasing that adrenaline rush, or we're chasing that next level of success in the business. But it's okay not to have to progress at 100 miles an hour, because we've actually got a family. We need to be present for our children. We need to be present for our partner. And if we're not present for them, we're not going to have them in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, nice. I see on your background awesome beach. Blue ocean, golden Yeah, I like this view. I like this beach sand. But in most cases, we need to handle our businesses in office, not on the beach. I love to spend time on the beach, but even if I need to drive like 15 minutes, it's a lot of time for me. I usually do it like one time a month, 2 times a month, not a lot. So can you tell how this picture can help you, to handle your business, to go ahead, and why you decided to put this picture?
Honestly, so I've had that picture. I've never been asked this question. I've had that picture more. How old am I now? I've had it for probably 14 years. But for me, I love the outdoors. I love the fresh air, and I love the freedom and the flexibility. So where we live, we've got a river and a walking path directly behind us. So I can't be boxed in. I can't have houses on all sides of me. So having something like this just reminds me that we've got the ability to travel. We've got the ability to see the world, that we don't have to live the traditional 9 to 5, travel into the office. We don't have to work at the office, then come home and then live our family life. We can, since COVID days, we can effectively work from anywhere. So why not take advantage of that? As long as you can deliver the work, why do we have to run our business? Why do we have to work the way we did 5 or 10 years ago? Why not be flexible? Why not look at things a different way?
Nice. You mentioned that your business, it's about consulting other businesses how to grow. And according to a few studies, many companies are busy with their common tasks, regular job. And when they hire consultants, they usually implement like 40% of all their recommendations. For example, if a company pays you $10,000, 6,000 are wasted. So can you tell about your methods, how to transfer information to a specific business, especially when you have like a few stakeholders, so you need to transfer data to one man who can share this data with others. Any tips how to do it right without wasting some recommendations?
Yeah, so the way I do it, like it's not in one big hit. In reality, the human mind can only work on a project in 90-day blocks or 90-day sprints. So let's focus on the most important things now and then move on to the next thing. So let's find the low-hanging fruit rather than trying to achieve everything at once. Let's do one project, then move on to the next project, then move on to the next project. So we don't want to go in and make wholesale changes. We want to make incremental fine-tuning changes that will give us 1 or 2% improvement at a time. We don't want to go and make, for me, we don't want to go and make a 20% improvement to then realize that there's going to have negative impacts in other areas of the business. So so this is why I'm really, really clear on having an understanding of what your ultimate objective or your end goal is, so we can, and when you want to achieve it, so we can make incremental changes that will be deeply embedded within the business, as opposed to massive changes all at once that will fall over in 6 months' time.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting. For example, if I create some products, I know my customers, I know my business, but after getting some stagnation, it's hard to find what to do without getting this, the view from other side. Can you tell how you can learn? For example, if something is going wrong, and because if you don't know the product, if you don't know the business, so any tips how you check out the business before providing any recommendation what to do next?
Good question. So I'm not going to give any advice until I know what's going on in the business. So but I personally specialize in B2B service and the marketing creative advertising. So lead gen, SEO, marketing companies. So a lot of the time, these businesses, their models are very, very similar. So there's only a couple of different levers that are different. So a coach or a consultant can't go and give advice in an area that they don't have experience in, because they're just going to go and blow it up. So because like it's like a football player. A football player can't go and play basketball unless they've got experience in that space. So why go and give advice or if you don't have experience in that area?
Yeah, love it. I agree. It's the same with SEO. When you pay attention to specific topic direction, you can get much better results. For example, when I decided to create my SEO course, I built relationships with many great SEO experts, and I just unite all their skills, knowledge. Many of them film videos for my course plus 20 experts, because I'm far away from many of them. Someone have experience with technical optimization, someone with creating the right strategy. For example, Lily Ray created checklist of EEAT, expertise, experience, authority, trust. That's why we got this course. And the main goal of this course not to earn a lot of money. I created this course because when I cooperate with new customers and I see they have no experience and knowing what SEO means, I usually tell them, take my course, spend time, learn it, get the basic, then we can get much higher results together, because without knowing basics, it's hard to go ahead. And Tristan, I have the question about how to find opportunities in this recession time. I don't know, it's recession time or uncertain time, but anyway, it's hard to find opportunities. But you know, a few podcasts ago, I spoke with Alex Mellon, who grew his agency from 400 people to 800 people in 18 months. So many big companies, tech companies laid out, but he grew, he found the way, and he told me it's very risky. It's very risky. It's not like a simple decision. Yeah, it's risky, but he got results. Can you tell how to find these opportunities, especially in this time when we don't know, customers can leave, can find another way? And if you're talking about SEO agency, digital marketing agency, all our businesses depend on customers who, if they decrease sales, they can leave it, and forget about your agency. Any tips about that?
Yeah, so I've actually got an article that I wrote 5 years ago. It's my highest performing article on my website. It's called "More Millionaires Are Made in a Recession Than in Any Normal Time." And for me, put simply, is when we're coming into recession or times of uncertainty, there is going to be, let's say, a lack of opportunity, or there's going to, prior to recession, it's easy to feed the family because people are spending money. But when you've got a recession or times of uncertainty, there's going to be less money being spent. So in reality, that's going to impact both leads, but it's also going to impact businesses. So the businesses that aren't set up properly are going to disappear. They're going to fall off the cliff, and they're not going to be able to service other businesses. But there's going to be businesses that are set up extremely well to be able to weather the storm, and they're going to actually double down and start doing more advertising, start doing more marketing, because they know that to maintain their revenue, they need to spend money. So we, as a service provider, we need to identify the industries and the businesses that have actually got a solid base and a solid foundation, and work out what our value proposition is for those businesses. Because we know we're going to have less competition, because our competitors are not set up as well, and they're going to disappear. So it's about identifying what your value proposition is that is better than anyone else, but then only targeting the businesses that have solid foundations and that have a need to do more advertising, to do marketing or more branding.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, love it, love it. And can you tell your methods how to reach out to such businesses? Your methods how to find customers, to tell, because it's interesting. I get a lot of similar messages from your competitors, probably your competitors. I don't know. They tell me. They tell I can help to grow your business to 10 million, 100 million. I don't know where they can find these numbers, but I get these templates every single day. And the best place where I lead all these messages to my spam inbox. They spend time together. So any tips about personalization? Because most businesses are busy. They have no time to analyze. And when you get this vanity metrics, I can increase your business to bring a lot of leads without deep understanding. So tell your methods about finding customers and explaining that you can actually help them.
So the reason you see this as spam is because the people that are doing outreach to you are doing generic outreach. They're doing it to anyone and everyone. They're not doing it to a specific niche. If you got an email that was targeted directly at your niche, directly at your pain points, you would open that email, you would read it and most likely respond. But because the emails that you're receiving are just generic, they're going to your spam box. So the businesses that are successful are the ones that are very targeted, very niche, and that are talking directly to that business owner. So don't do the one size fits all approach. You need to double down on your niche. You need to double down on your target client and only talk to them. Identify what their pains are and what it is that they want to achieve.
Yeah. And you mentioned that your customers are B2B segment.
Yep.
Can you tell what is the main difference by serving B2B customers instead of B2C?
For me, having a B2B business, you can make it boring, simple, and repetitive. You don't have to make as many sales because in the B2B space, you can turn B2B service sector. You can turn your clients into recurring clients where they're spending money with you monthly, quarterly, annually. Whereas in the B2C space, typically it might be you're going to have to resell to them at different times, and you're going to have to resell a different product or service each time. So B2B, I much prefer playing in that space because we can make your business boring, repetitive, and predictable. So we know how much money and how much profit you're going to make each month. Then once we've got that, we can then go and have the fun and do the creative, interesting stuff that will feed creative juices.
I open your LinkedIn profile and I see company evolve to grow. And the first sentence of description of this company, calling all overworked, stressed, and burned out business owners. Let's talk about these business owners. Sometimes I have this feeling, I can't deny it, because when you have many things to do, I usually try to figure out what I can, what I can't. If I can't, can I delegate or I can't? If I can't, I just forget about this task. I don't need it. I can't earn all money in the world. That's okay. And can you tell what elements, things can make business owners stressed, overworked, and burned out in the end?
Yeah, so often it's business owners will get stressed because they're promising or they're delivering something, or they're saying they're going to deliver something that they actually don't have a clear runway on how they're going to do it, and they haven't scheduled out the workload capacity of their team. They haven't created a project plan. They don't know how much profit is going to be in that project. So actually understanding your workload capacity within your business, actually having a proper project plan, knowing how much profit you're going to make, how much time you're going to allocate to that project will make it a big difference, because you can then, when you sell to the client, you're like, okay, cool, our workload capacity is like this for the next 3 weeks. So that means we're not going to be able to actually deliver this project for 6 or 7 weeks because of where we're at capacity wise. So just because you know how to deliver a service or a project doesn't mean you've got the capacity or ability to do it straight away, or doesn't mean that you're going to be able to make a profit on it. So it is, business owners often will be getting stressed because they don't have visibility on how they're going to do the job and how they're going to make money off that job.
Yeah, awesome. Can you share a checklist, step by step, what to do for business owners in ACO when they are struggling to scale their business, especially in this possible recession time? Any tips where to start and I don't know, finish the list that you can, I don't know, schedule in your time?
Yeah, simply put, it's having the quadrant urgency and impact, high urgency, high impact, low urgency, low impact. Having those four quadrants, and then creating a list of all of your tasks, all of the things that are in your mind, and then putting them into the four sections of the quadrant. Is it high urgency, high impact, or is it low urgency, high impact kind of thing? So once we've done that, we can then prioritize what are the things that we need to work on right now. Because often we will focus on the areas of our business that are easy to do, but they're not going to have the most impact. So as a human, we're often not the best at prioritizing our workload.
You know, you remind me Bill Gates. Once he said in his interview about priorities, for example, if he has product A and product B, after investing X amount of money to product A and to product B, if product B can sell 2 times more, the second time he will ignore product A and will double investing 2x money to product B because of priorities, because it's best-selling product. And you mentioned many times about focus. I know it's important in marketing a lot to focus on something that is important, for example, in content plan, in your social media posts. Can you tell what focus means in your perspective? Because, you know, I see when people don't understand how it works, don't understand or get the broad meaning of focus, but covering a lot of things, and tell what focus means for you. I mean, like you usually ignore what is not in your focus or less necessary things. Any tips about that?
Yeah, so for me, focus is doing less and actually spending time without distractions. So choosing 1 or 2 things that you know are going to have an impact, and allowing yourself to work on them, getting rid of those distractions, and trusting the process that if we double down on this is the thing that's going to have the greater impact.
Oh, you mentioned this word distraction all the time. I get this word, you know, in my smartphone without end, you know, many distractions, new messages, phone calls. Can you tell how to be not to be not destructive by a lot of messages that you can get, calls, and pay attention to important things?
It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. So it's easy to get distracted from things if we don't understand the benefit of the thing that we're working on right now, what outcome that project is going to provide. So if we actually understand and connect the outcome of the project with what we're actually doing, it's a lot easier to not get distracted. But if we're just doing it for the sake of it, we're going to look around everywhere and go and do other things. So before we start working on something, we're like, okay, if I do this, this is what the benefit's going to be. This is why I'm doing this. So, but if we don't, we will get distracted by other things. Obviously, that may not always work. So setting if you don't turn off your notifications and you don't close your email, you're setting yourself up for failure to get pinged by everything. So we want to remove those pings from coming up to stop us going looking when we hear the sound. But so we do that, plus remind ourselves what the benefit of this task is.
Tristan, I have the question about mistakes. In my life, I made a lot of mistakes. I keep doing them, but I learn from them. I don't know another way how to learn something. I usually start from best practices. I fail. When I fail, I learn what I can do, how to adapt. And for example, when I learn new methods of SEO or digital marketing, I usually try myself before hiring someone else, because I need to understand how it works. For example, I started PR campaigns, failed with all my PR campaigns. I failed everywhere by learning tools, by implementing. But I got experience how to do it. I got it. Okay, I can find someone and can manage the process, control the process. Can you list common mistakes that companies still do by growing their businesses, and your tips how to find a much better way?
Yeah, often it is the whole ego and arrogance thing, thinking an individual or business thinks, I know best, I'll do it my way, kind of thing. So why reinvent the wheel when someone else 99% of the time has already done it? Why not learn from them, learn from their lessons, learn from their mistakes, go and implement it in your business, and then teach someone else within your business to do it. So don't go out and do it yourself, because it's going to take you 2-3 years to become a subject matter expert in something. But if you go and learn from someone and learn from the mistakes that they've made, you're going to become a master a lot faster, and then you're going to be able to teach someone within your team to take it on. So it's letting go of that ego, letting go of that arrogance.
Nice. Tristan, if you can do only one thing that you share on this podcast, what will you do? Only one thing.
Get over your ego. Realize that you're not the best in the world. Go and 9 times out of 10 you're not the best in the world, but go and ask others, take on knowledge from others, and implement what others have done before you.
Yeah, interesting. And let's imagine you started from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills. What would you do today to learn more about helping growing business in recession?
Okay, what would I do? I would go and my first thing would be to go and interview 10, 20, 30 different businesses and spend half a day with them, understanding what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them, what they've done, what they would do differently. I would go and ask multiple different businesses in different sectors what their experience is. And I would find new businesses that are 2 or 3 years old and businesses that are 20 or 30 years old, so we can actually learn from businesses at different stages.
Yeah, interesting. And Tristan, my final question about the future. We have AI today that was simple to ignore, hard today, impossible tomorrow, and probably everyone can use AI as a regular tool. I use daily AI. Can you tell what kind of future will be? Because we don't know it's recession or not, but can you forecast what kind of future will be, and your tips how AI probably can help to adapt to this possible future?
I can't predict it. It's like today we're moving so much faster than we were 5 years ago, and so much faster than we were 10 years ago. So, and there's going to be a lot of hits. There's also going to be a lot of misses. So there's going to be a lot more mistakes, and there's going to be a lot of people that go all in on AI, but they don't do all of their research, and their companies are going to blow up. So we need to use AI as a tool that will help optimize the way we do work. There's still going to there's still going to need to be human input. We're still going to need it. AI is actually teaching us to brief work in a lot better. So previously, people wouldn't brief in work to a copywriter correctly. So the copywriter was having to spend 5 hours doing a job that should only take an hour. But now people are to get the correct content out of AI, people are actually having to understand how to write a brief a lot better. So it's educating. AI is actually educating us to be smarter and do work better. We're going to, yes, it will change the way we work. There's going to be some jobs that are at risk, but in the marketing and digital space, if we're half intellectual, we're still going to have a job, we're still going to have a business, but we're going to be driving AI. There's a massive ability to make a lot of money out of all these AI tools.
Yeah, nice. Love it. Tristan, it's a big pleasure to get on the show, to learn from you, especially when you find this time in the morning, 8 a.m. because we are in different part of the world. Tristan, before we finish, tell our audience the best way how to keep learning from you, how to follow you, how to reach out to you.
Simplest way is just to type my name into Google, Tristan Wright or Evolve to Grow. You can find my website from there, or you can find me on YouTube. And I'm across all of the different social channels as well.
Okay, guys, you can find the links to Tristan YouTube channel, to LinkedIn, to the website in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. Love it. So valuable. I enjoy our conversations because it's valuable. Guys, you need to follow and subscribe to Tristan YouTube channel because you can see a lot of value. Okay, love you. See you.
Thank you.